Florida father who spent weeks living with the bodies of his wife, children, and dog after murdering them has been found guilty. A jury found Anthony Todt, 46, guilty of 4 charges of first-degree murder and 1 act of animal cruelty on Thursday. Following the verdict, Circuit Judge Keith A. Karsten sentenced Todt to 4 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole, describing him as a destroyer of worlds and stating that not one of those lives taken was less valuable than the other, according to the Orlando Sentinel, which had reporters in the courtroom. On January 13, 2020, FBI officers and Osceola County deputies arrived at Todt's home in the planned picture-perfect town of Celebration to serve a federal warrant for healthcare fraud allegations resulting from his physical therapy business. They discovered Todt inside the house, along with the deaths of his wife, Megan Todt, 42, their 13-year-old son, Alec, their 11-year-old son, Tyler, their youngest child, Zoe, and their dog, Breezy. Todt was apprehended and charged with 4 charges of first-degree murder and 1 act of cruelty to animals. He entered a not guilty plea to the allegations. Taking the stand during the trial, Todt blamed his wife for killing their children. "I came home and my kids were dead," Todt said. The Daily Beast reports, "It was the most horrible day of my life. What made it more horrible was that my wife died in front of me also." However, according to videotaped admissions produced in court earlier in the trial, Todt claimed he and his wife agreed to kill the children and themselves because she had been watching videos about how to obtain salvation in the face of an impending apocalypse, according to the Orlando Sentinel. According to the Orlando Sentinel, ClickOrlando.com and Wesh 2, Todt stated in his confession that he and Megan had decided to kill the entire family. Assistant State Attorney Danielle Pinnell said on Monday, April 11, 2022, the first day of the murder trial at the Osceola County Courthouse in Kissimmee. "Everybody needed to die in order to pass over to the other side together," Pinnell said. Paraphrasing Todt's claim, Todt claimed in his confession that he and his wife discussed death with their children, and that the children told them, "We want to die with you," according to the Sentinel. According to Todt, his youngest child, 4-year-old Zoe, was the first to be killed. According to the Sentinel, Todt told detectives that he sat on his daughter's bed for hours before suffocating her with a pillow. "I needed to save her soul," according to the Sentinel. "I really wanted her to be here with us." Both of his sons were stabbed and suffocated by him. His wife, he alleged, stabbed herself in the abdomen. According to Pinnell, he suffocated her with a pillow when she failed to commit herself. He took all of their bodies and placed them all into the master bedroom, Pinnell said cops after everyone was dead. Todt told detectives during his videotaped confession that he wanted to join his deceased family members on the other side, according to the Sentinel. "That's exactly where I want to be." According to investigators, Todt's explanation changed after his detention, when he confessed that he wasn't at home when the crimes occurred. Todt stated that the children were murdered before Christmas, implying that he had been living with the bodies for several weeks. Todt and his family had moved to Celebration from Colchester, Con, in recent years, but it's unknown how long they'd resided in the Disney-created fantasy town, which Disney no longer owns. He commuted between the 2 states while attempting to save his dormant practice in Connecticut. Todt was a physical therapist for many years and the owner of Family Physical Therapy in Colchester. However, court documents show that Todt was deeply in debt. Liens had been lodged on a condo the family owned in Celebration, just streets away from their rental home at 202 Reserve Place, throughout the years. The landlord of the family's Reserve Place unit issued an eviction notice on December 22 and served the family on December 26. Todt's public defender did not immediately reply to a request for comment from People.